So then we're going to talk about Yellowstone a little bit. This one's pretty quick. And it's an update on the geyser that exploded, the geyser eruption. And they said, a geyser that erupted last week in Yellowstone National Park fired water and rock debris up to 600 feet, 180 meters into the air, scientists say, 6 times higher than what was initially reported. Geologists at the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory estimated the height of the plume by examining photos posted on social media. They also pinpointed the site and depth of the eruption, which occurred July 23rd at Black Diamond Pool in Biscuit Basin, about 2 miles northwest of Old Faithful Geyser. The eruption was so sudden, and no precursors to the event were detected by monitoring instruments, a research physicist with the U.S. Geological Survey and scientist in charge of vibrio. No one was injured, he wrote, but the explosion heavily damaged the nearby boardwalk, and the basin remains closed as geologists assess the activity. Researchers analyzed rock fragments ejected in the eruption and found they were made of glacial materials, sandstone, siltstone, and gravels that just sit beneath the surface. The eruption didn't throw out any bedrock buried below 170 feet or 50 meters deep, indicating that the explosion was extremely shallow. Shallow geyser eruptions are common at Yellowstone, he added. The resulting damage was small compared to what could have been. The explosion largely fired debris toward the Firehole River and away from the nearby boardwalk, where tourists stood at the time of the eruption. The largest rock confirmed to have been coughed out by the eruption weighed several hundred pounds, but it landed far from the visitors. A clog in the underground hydrothermal system beneath Biscuit Basin likely triggered the eruption. Mineral deposits within the water pipes that run below Yellowstone and feed its geysers can block steam and hot water from passing through. Obstructions cause a buildup of pressure that can eventually overcome the strength of surrounding rocks, sparking an explosion. The eruption likely rerouted the shallow hydrothermal pipe system in Biscuit Basin, and it's unclear what will happen next. By shifting the earth underground, the explosion may have returned the area to a calmer state, or it may have created a new geyser. It is unknown how the thermal features will respond, but the data that the geologists are collecting from the explosion debris will provide even more detail on the exact conditions at the time of the event. So, I found it interesting with this article that immediately when it came out, all the geologists said there's nothing to worry about with Yellowstone. And again, here they said that there's really nothing to worry about with Yellowstone. So that's interesting. But how did they know that there was nothing to worry about if they hadn't studied it? I guess just by experience of what they saw. I would like to ask them about that. But so here they're saying that they don't even know what's going to happen. It's still unknown how the thermal features will respond. So a new geyser could form, he said. So at any moment, boiling water can erupt from the ground in this area, and they have the whole place blocked off until geologists can assess it. And that's that's totally normal, apparently. I find that to be fascinating. It probably is normal for the most part, but I don't know. Again, it seems a little bit of a coincidence to have all this activity at the same time. But it is cool that that's how new geysers form, and that it can be possible that they get clogged and exploded and stuff. So that was pretty interesting. Yeah, so I have 2 news articles that I wanted to show. Well, they have the video. This one's about 90 seconds, 2 minutes approximately. And I talked about in the past how after hurricanes, bad bacteria will get spread around, and that people have to be really careful with getting into this water with open wounds. And that's exactly what happened I will let the video play.
Morning, a Pearland woman is urging anyone who goes to the beach to take a recent warning seriously about an increase in vibrio cases.
This after she lost her father to the flesh-eating bacteria. Igochi Iloka joins us live from the Texas Medical Center. Igochi, this all started with a fishing trip to Freeport.
Yeah, Ron and Steph, it did. And even though 66-year-old Randy Bunch had a blood disorder, doctors say anyone could get sick if they have an open wound and are exposed to vibrio bacteria. Take a look at your screen. These are the pictures that his daughter, Randy Bunch's daughter, Brandy, shared with us. She says when her dad went fishing in Dune, he wasn't wearing wading boots like he usually does, but he had flip-flops on to step into a shallow water there. Now, he missed a days-old scrape on his right foot, then called his daughter after feeling extreme pain on the right side of his body hours later. He was rushed to the ER but sent home. Now, Brandy says the next morning her dad had a 104-degree fever and was rushed to the medical center. After countless tests, doctors still couldn't figure out what was wrong until Brandy noticed something off.
I was like, oh gosh, could this be flesh-eating bacteria, the vibrio? The blisters were taking over his whole body. It was spreading just like a fire.
Yeah, and her dad died less than 1 week after he stepped foot in the water. Now Brandy wants more to be done to warn others about vibrio. In fact, she wants to see more warning signs posted before people get in the water, to be looking out for that. So that is something she is talking about pushing. We do have more information on vibrio available on our website.
So, very tragic case. And I also wanted to say that he did have a blood disorder. So he got a blood infection and had a blood disorder, so he kind of had prior complication that probably led to his death. But it goes to show that, like they said, anybody can get sick, and people need to take precautions. There are little things that you can buy that will cover scrapes and little wounds like that, so that they will be sealed if you need to go in the water, or want to. Like if you want to go out and do recreational stuff, you can seal the wound so that you don't get that stuff, and then cleaning it again later. And I also wanted to mention as well that she was the one that advocated for her dad or herself. And really, you're your biggest advocate. You have to advocate for yourself with medical people. Unfortunately, our medical system is tragically screwed up, and I can go on about that forever. It's not the doctor's faults. It's really our system and our politicians' fault. It's political. It's about money. But, people have to think about that, and they just turn off, I guess, or whatever. But, yeah, it goes into so many different things, and you have to advocate for yourself to the medical professionals. So that involves being educated. So I just wanted to mention that it's really important for you to advocate for yourself and learn how to advocate to yourself. Learn how to talk to the doctors. There are programs out there that do that. So yeah, I might talk about that or make an episode or provide some links or something about that sometime. But if you look up patient advocacy or anything like that, you'll be able to find reading materials about that if you're interested. Super important, especially if you have family that's going through medical stuff, or if you're going through medical stuff, frankly, for anybody, because you never know when you're going to go through something. So that was interesting. And now we'll go on to some more effects of the storm with Tropical Storm Hurricane Debbie.
Right now, rescues again happening at this hour from those still trapped by floodwaters here in Sarasota and the surrounding areas. ABC 7's Sophia Vitello has been at the flooded rescue area for the past 2 days. And Sophia, what are you seeing this afternoon?
Hey, good afternoon, Stephanie. Well, what I can tell you is that there's a little bit of good news here, that we're finding out that the rainfall, the storm surge, has gone down about 2 or 2.5 inches. So for the most part, that makes recovery efforts a lot easier for these guys out here. But this is really an all hands on deck situation. We have multiple agencies in here going back out into the flood zone here, again, off of Bay Vista Street in Sarasota, that Pinecraft area, going house to house, making sure that no one is trapped inside, and that if they want to leave, that they can get out safely onto airboats and other small boat types. I want to tell you, though, I got to ride along with the Sarasota Police Department on the City of Northport's Public Works Department's airboat. They got to show me what it really looks like out there, because as you can see, it's deep. I can't walk out there on those certain side streets that are really waist deep. So on that boat, they took me through each of the side streets and showed me also how much the rain went down. You know, mailboxes underwater, cars submerged, doors halfway underwater. So the situation is really scary for a lot of residents living here. I mean, we've talked to them the past couple of days, people who've lived here 30, 40 plus years even, never seen this kind of storm surge. So this is something that people really weren't prepared for, especially from a tropical storm. That's something that they've brought up a lot. You know, yesterday I saw people packing trash bags, taking their belongings, struggling to pick out the things that are important to them. Think about that situation that over 500 people are going through here right now in our town in Sarasota. So it's really sad and scary out here, but these guys, these are our heroes, doing the best that they can to get out there, get everybody out. Also, FPL is here working on turning on all the lights, because obviously it's a scary situation when you mix water and power. So everyone's trying to coordinate together to make this better for the people living in this area. You'll have a full report on that ride along.
Yeah, so she talked about electricity and water. That's totally true. And a lot of storms, especially with high wind, there are people that unfortunately are electrocuted, and they don't even realize that it's an issue sometimes. Sometimes people do know, and they see the power line down, and they still go out and try to do stuff around it, which is unfortunate. If you ever see power lines down, never go near it. Always just assume that they're on. But even if you don't see sparking and smoke and stuff that's obvious that it's electrified, it can still be electrified, especially with water. It can be electrified with no smoke. So I just wanted to point that out. And she had talked about how people had not seen storm surge this bad in 30 or 40 years. And that just goes to show again that the storms are getting worse. They will be more severe and more frequent. And that people were scrounging through their stuff trying to find their important documents. And that can be a lesson for us right now. I talked about getting prepared of different types of stuff. Having your documents in a place where you can find them and put them somewhere that's important, or that you know where it is so that it's all together. That is important. And I'll just say a couple more things real quick. With the water coming up to the people's homes, you can't really do anything about water coming up to your home. But what you can do about is not driving into the water. And they talked about 500 people being rescued and water rescues. That's a lot. That's straining their ability. The only way that they could do 500 rescues is by having help of other states and other agencies that have come to help. People drive halfway across the nation to come and help these situations. So that's the only reason they were even able to pull off 500 rescues. But not going out into the water. Like if one of the roads are washed out or there's water over the road, and it's, I mean, really you shouldn't drive it over any road that has a bunch of water in it. But because you can't tell the depth of the water, or most people cannot, they're not very good at judging the depth. So if the road is underwater, just turn around. In Texas, there's the saying, turn around, don't drown. And it's very true. We have a lot of fatalities every year of people just driving into the water, and it only takes a couple inches of water to lift up a car. It's not a lot of water at all to pick up a car and float it. It's like 6 inches of water, maybe something like that. and maybe even less for some types. It depends on the type of vehicle that you have. So I just wanted to say that. And at one point here, it says that at one point we had 10 people pulling them out, talking about people getting stuck in their cars and stuff. And people have to risk themselves to come out there and get to you. So just wanted to point that out of do not risk yourself getting into water and having to be rescued. I have a story about that I'll share sometime. It's pretty dramatic story. But I'll end it with this one last thing about the storms. And that with Houston, there was areas that did not have power for 2 or 3 weeks. And it got really, really desperate for those people. And if you don't know what happened with Houston, I encourage you guys to go and look up just how bad it got in Houston. Because Houston became beyond a third world country. It was worse than a third world country. And our corporations were lying to us. Right now, they're raising the prices on the victims. They're making the victims pay for all of the damages, which is absolutely absurd. But I can go on that forever. But so what I was going to say was that when these storms come in, especially when there's no power, water treatment's down, potentially, and everything's flooded, we had a surge of West Nile going on, the likes of which, we're having record-breaking West Nile right now. And I don't want to, scare people, because West Nile is bad. It's really bad. But my point is, and West Nile is not the only one. There's, people getting waterborne diseases and insect-borne diseases and bacterial infections, like that guy with the foot thing earlier. And as the water is flooding everywhere, you have diseases that come in afterwards. So the storm occurs, right? The hurricane happens, and everybody's cleaning up. And oh, thank God the hurricane is gone, and the sky is blue, and now it's 110 degrees outside. I'm glad that the storm's gone, right? That's what everybody's feeling. Well, now the mosquitoes are coming. And then you have different stuff after that. So I just wanted to point out that diseases follow hurricanes, and with this increase in severity and frequency of hurricanes will be the increase in severity of diseases. So it's something to keep in mind. And in your preparedness bag or whatever, you probably want to have a mosquito net. That would probably be a good idea. So right now, I'll just end it on the disease thing with, we have a lot of different diseases all popping off right now. They're looking at a new version of Mpox, aka monkeypox, in Africa. Don't have much information about that right now, but then we have the bird flu in America, which has crossed onto bovine, and they've confirmed human transmission, but the human transmission is weak. A weak air transmission with the bird flu. So we're very thankful for that. But yeah, it's just Art Bell talked about this stuff in his book about like how all of these different things converge together in a single point. And that's kind of what we're talking about, is the point of convergence of all of these different things and how to be prepared, and that we're going into a new world. It's going to be very different. One last thing about that, I'll end it on a positive on the diseases, is that as these things continue on, most of the time they become less severe. The disease becomes less severe as it evolves. So even if we have more diseases coming out, they will evolve to become less severe with time. Just like we're watching with COVID right now, it's much, much less severe of an infection than it was at the beginning. However, it's more virulent. It's more transmissible. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some more stuff, and I hope that I provoked some thought. I know that we had a lot of different types of stuff. This one was a little bit of a shorter one. So I hope everybody stays safe out there, and I'm looking forward to more stuff in the future.
Yeah. Look, back and I'm better than ever. I think I got a vendetta. Oh, now they call me, I seen them. All of those times getting severed. I told them all I can let up. They get not tired of me never. Give me a shot and I swear I shoot like Berettas. Yeah. They getting nervous, I seen it. What I seen, you wouldn't believe it. They say they want it, I need it. Damn, I'm going dumb like I dropped out of class. Get in my lane and I'm going right past. I turn it up, watch me go to the max. You ain't it first and you know this you last. I thought I told them I'm coming right back. I got a flows like it came from the tap, and I came from my city, that's right on my back. Back and I'm better than ever. I think I got a vendetta. Oh, now they call me, I seen them. All of those times getting severed. I told them all I can let up. They get not tired of me never. Give me a shot and I swear I shoot like Berettas. Back and I'm better than ever. I think I got a vendetta. Oh, now they call me, I seen them. All of those times getting severed. I told them all I can let up. They get not tired of me never. Give me a shot and I swear I shoot like Berettas. That's how I shoot. Lately I'm driven like I'm on the road. They in my lane, I got told them to move. Now that I'm popping, got too much to lose. Look at the numbers, got nothing to prove. I'm in the city, just me and my crew. Told me I'm sick and I know that it's true, but I'm still gonna ball, it's like I got a flu. Yeah, run it up, I told them that I'm coming back. So let me get all of that. Time is now, I'm coming around to get a check. Said I need my taxes back. Over time I'm getting mine, so get in line. And it's with no respect. That I told them all about the ball, getting chips. Feeling like Kobe Shaq. Back and I'm better than ever. I think I got a vendetta. Oh, now they call me, I seen them. All of those times getting severed. I told them all I can let up. They get not tired of me never. Give me a shot and I swear I shoot like Berettas. Yeah.